Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Love to have you here. Love to have you subscribe and like if you feel like this content is good. But yeah, let's just get into it. So I started streaming about 3 years ago, definitely during the pandemic. I'm one of those streamers, but over the course of the last 3 years, I've definitely enjoyed my time streaming on all the platforms, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. And I kind of just want to give a little bit of a guide to what I think is pros and cons to all three platforms, and maybe talk a little bit about the new one called Kick.com. So I'll be playing gameplay here while I pretty much talk through this. So like I said, if you guys like the content, like and subscribe, push this out to as many friends as possible. And if you're a streamer that's kind of interested in this topic or discussion, leave a comment. I'll try to throw in a couple of graphics or something else to kind of like pop into your eyes, just so you guys aren't just watching my trash gameplay as well. So like I said, man, let's just get into it, and hopefully you guys like the content. All right, now that the gameplay is running, let's start off with YouTube as our first streaming site that we're going to talk about. I'll make this in bullet point format with some graphics and everything like that, so it's easier for you guys. But let's start off with the pros of YouTube. So pro number one is going to be short and long form content. Besides streaming on YouTube, you guys can make short and long form content. So you can take a live stream, for example, make a video of like a game like I am doing right now, and then that could be your long form content, or just make topic discussions or anything else that you guys really want to. And within that, you can definitely cut that down again and make short form content, just like TikTok or YouTube. So that's a very great thing that YouTube does, and it all goes into the same library and algorithm for the most part. So that's definitely a bullet point for me. That is a definite pro. So the next pro for me with YouTube is going to be evergreen content, and evergreen content really is just going to be kind of like your how-tos, your top 10s. They're really just long form videos that really just, they don't die out no matter what the season is. They're always going to be clicked on a day, a week, a month, years from now. They're always things that are just going to be constantly clicked through. What's so powerful about evergreen content, and for your channel, if you decide to use YouTube, is that's going to be something that's always a money maker. No matter how much it is, you can look at all these other channels and there's still very popular videos that are years old at the time that you watch them, and that's just going to be something that goes strength to strength for you. So definitely look into evergreen content or try to make evergreen content. So another pro that YouTube gave smaller creators is community posts, and it's really cool that they gave us that, because I can engage with everyone that's subscribed to my channel or post other links of videos that I find interesting. And it's honestly just like YouTube, which we'll talk about a little bit later, but honestly with community posts, I can tell people what's going on with the channel. I can give them updates about my life. It's honestly like Twitter and Facebook kind of all combined to one, and it's all on YouTube. So it's literally just one place, a one-stop shop for a lot of things. So my last pro for YouTube is going to be playback and the playback feature. And I think we've all been there before, where we've been watching a stream or paying attention to a stream and something happens where we get distracted, and all of a sudden we look back and the chat's going crazy or the streamer's going crazy and something's happening, and basically you miss that moment. And this is more particular with Twitch, where you miss that moment or you have to clip it and hopefully go back and see what happened. But with the playback feature on YouTube, you can definitely go back as far as you want. I could be streaming for 5 hours and you can go back and watch the beginning, or even after I'm done streaming, because of that kind of long form content. You can watch it all over again, or watch it as many times as you want. Unlike with Twitch, you can definitely kind of watch it if someone keeps it after the stream, or you just have to use clips or find out what happened after the fact. So the playback feature for me is a very, very strong piece of watching content, especially when I'm doing stuff like taking care of my daughter or anything like that. So for me, that's a very good strong point. So that's why I want to end the pros on YouTube. So let's talk about the cons of YouTube streaming. One of the cons is a little hard to find gamers or streamers that are live at the current moment. The UI is just a little bit difficult to navigate. I know you kind of have to go through gaming or just look up like a person's channel from the get-go, and even when you look up through gaming, you have to go through live and put a bunch of filters, and then you might find the person that you're looking for or something that you're interested in. So it's a little difficult to find streamers like you would on Twitch or Facebook, where you have pretty much one button and it's a whole directory. another con that might turn people away from streaming on YouTube is it takes a little bit of effort where you have to, you know, think of a good title to entice people to come into the stream. You have to think of thumbnails to make and make, you know, the thumbnail itself a little bit enticing to people to bring in. So you have to do a little bit of work to make marketing work in your favor, to have a bunch of people just jump into your stream. It's not like Twitch or Facebook where you kind of just find somebody, you click their face, and then you kind of look at the title a little bit later. So it's definitely a little bit difficult, but a little effort goes a long way, in my opinion. So I really didn't know whether to put this as a pro or a con, but I'm going to talk about the YouTube Partner Program. I'll put a graphic up so I'm not just spouting off random numbers that are obviously going to be wrong, but out of all three streaming platforms, I believe this one's going to be the hardest one for creators to get to. But for me, at the same point, I have to kind of believe that if you do get to that YouTube Partner Program, you know, you've done a lot of work and you've had a lot of success, and it's one of those things that are going to pay off in the future where, like I said, your short form, long form, the evergreen content, all that stuff is going to be start making money, whether it's $2 a day, 2 cents, is still something that's going to be constantly making money for you. So the YouTube Partner Program, whether it's a con right now just because you don't have it, it'll be a definite pro in the later half once you get it. And I'll hope that if you watch this video that you do get it. The last con that I have with YouTube streaming, and this is kind of the big one for me that I'm still struggling with a little bit, and there's definitely ways around it and alternatives, but there's a little lack of chat features for people that are trying to interact with my chat whenever I do live stream. I know Twitch has channel points and a couple other extensions that will, you know, make the chat more lively. You can use Stream Elements or Streamlabs to kind of circumvent that a little bit, and there's other third-party software that you can use to try to help chat and interact with you. But I think the lack of features that they have right now, where for smaller creators that are not partnered, it is a little bit more difficult. So if you're trying to have an engaging chat, or you're trying to have people to, you know, use channel points or something like that, you might have to use alternatives, but it is something that I feel that is lacking a feature. But I know YouTube is trying to look at options to make, so might be not a con in the future. A little bit louder. All right, let's move on to Facebook gaming. So one weird pro that's happened to me when I used to do Facebook gaming is the big algorithm push that it does kind of automatically, where you don't really have to do anything yourself with it. I remember streaming one of my racing live streams. I was doing a race, I think a Daytona or something like that, and I had two of my friends watching me, and you know, steadily got up to 3. And I checked back later in the race, and there's about 50 people you know, watching me, and not necessarily chatting. There was, you know, a little bit more chatters, but it wasn't like 50 people and 50 chatters. So it was very weird. But I checked back the next day, and that number actually went all the way up to about 1,200. So I don't even know how that algorithm really worked, but it's really cool that YouTube can just push it to as many eyes as possible and try to get people to watch your content. So another cool feature that Facebook has is community group post sharing. So whether that be on your personal or your professional account of whatever you're streaming on or making content on, you can have all your friends or everyone that's a viewer just share that same video, and it keeps going out. And if there's any groups that you're particularly a part of, so if you're in the gaming community and you want to play like Apex Legends, you can just toss your stream into that group, and if it's accepted, you have however many people, you know, however many thousands of people that are in that group. If they scroll and they're looking at that, they can see your video right there. So it's another thing that kind of goes with that algorithm push, where your video can go pretty much to anybody that uses Facebook that is somehow connected to that account or friends of that account. So it's really cool that that video or live stream can go anywhere, really. 1v5, that's not good already. Honestly, that's pretty much my pros for Facebook. I know the streaming platform has a little bit of problems, so let's talk about that right now. Starting with the cons, my first con is going to be the lack of support for the creators. I know unless you're a partner, and even with some of the partners, they've had a lot of problems with it. So you can look up Facebook partners that have gone to other platforms, you know, with YouTube or Twitch, and one of their big reasons is that Facebook just doesn't support them and the things that they need to do to survive as a content creator, and it kind of hurts a lot of their community and their program itself. another thing that is a con for Facebook is just a convoluted setup. Once you get it, you get it, but there's so many things that change all the time with how to set up a stream or what to do with the community and community guidelines and stuff like that. So it's very convoluted to set up, but like once I said, like I said, once you get it, it kind of just stays the same. Some things might change, but there's always bugs and issues with it. So it's a really big con for me that kind of made me stop on Facebook. So the last thing that's a con for me, it can be a pro for you if you look at it in a different light, but it's a con for me, and that's going to be the intimacy of the chat or people that watch you. And what I mean by that is with Facebook, a lot of people don't use an alternate account with a different name or something like that. They use their first name and first and last name, so it's their personal account. And when I'm doing something like gaming, I have to talk to them and say, oh yeah, that was pretty cool, John, or you know, Mary says something like that. And just having to address them that way is just a little bit weird, where I don't have to have a user alias name, or when they follow I have to say their full name, and it's definitely very weird. But for me, that's just a con. All right, last but not least, let's talk about the big boy in the room, Twitch, Mr. Purple, whatever you want to call him. That's what I've been streaming to for the most part. That's where I've found most of my success as a streamer and content creator. So let's start off with the pros there. So the first pro, which I think everyone else already strives to do, is just make affiliate. And affiliate is very easy to make. A lot of people kind of find a little bit of difficulties in the beginning, but it's very easy to make affiliate. And you can see that on screen right now. That's not very hard to make. You just need maybe 2 friends to watch you, and then your girlfriend or your other, you know, your boyfriend, whoever it is, just 3 people. That is so easy to do, I think, in reality. And 50 followers, you just get that over time. You just talk to people and do a little bit of networking and just tell people about your stream. It's easy to do, in my opinion. Another thing that Twitch has that is so important to its success, that is definitely a pro for me, is just the community options. Now that is third-party software like WarmBoard Board or anything else that can kind of control your stream itself that Twitch has. You have extensions, you have channel points. There's so many things that you can use that the community will bring together and make your content even better without you really doing anything. People can use channel points, they can use burps, you know, soundboard things that they just use. There's just so many things that Twitch has right now that's going for it, and so much support on the third-party software to make things fun for the streamer and the chat and the community itself. Emotes, I can go on and on for days about this, but the community options there for Twitch is just a strong pro for me. One of the last pros I have for Twitch is the rating capability. Now, it's not used often, just depending on who you are, but it definitely helped me out early on in my career when I had a friend or another streamer that had a lot more viewers than I did. Once he was done streaming, he hit a button and all his viewers that were still in that chat watching that stream basically came over and rated my live stream that had maybe 4 people at the time. And that jumped me up to about 60 people at one time watching my stream. Now, these are small numbers in comparison to people that you probably know by name whenever you go and look at their live streams. But things like the rating feature, it's kind of like one of those things that, you know, once you get it, you want to give it to somebody else. So I knew that once I was done streaming, I had still maybe 30 something people. So I just sent it to a different stream, and people were constantly doing that and kind of, you know, just paving the way forward. That's such a great feature. And obviously there's been bad moments with it where people have kind of hate rated and done stupid things like that. But if you're a small creator and you're given to another small creator that has the same content as you, you guys can actually join communities together. Now, you know, if you guys definitely stream at different times, I mean, just in the possibilities are endless. So I don't want to go into it too deeply, but the rating feature for me is just a very strong feature when used the correct way. So let's talk about the cons that Twitch has right now. One of the biggest ones that kind of just stands out, everyone's going to be talking about, is just the revenue split that Twitch has right now, where it's 50-50. And I think if you look at the other 2 streaming platforms, I believe their revenue split is 70-30 in the favor of the streamer itself. So 30% to the company, 70% to the streamer. That's very much, you know, that's way better than, you know, what Twitch is doing, where it's 50-50. So you give me $1, I only get 50 cents of that $1. And you know, subscription services are I think like $4.99 on Twitch if you guys sub for a tier 1 or something like that. And you know, the streamer only gets, you know, $2.50, which is, it's still money at the end of the day, but it's not as much as you really could be making. And then with ads and how Twitch works with all this ad stuff, which that'll be the next con I'll talk about here in a little bit. It's just really bad that the revenue split is just 50-50 for all the work that you're putting in. So I talked about it earlier before, but I'll try to mention it again here, is that my second con is going to be ads and pre-roll ads that Twitch has. And whether you watch me on Twitch or you're watching one of the other biggest streamers or just another channel in general, that you're going to get hit with a 30-second to 90-second ad at the beginning before you even watch a second of that person's content. And then if you somehow make it that far, where a lot of people just, you know, they give up after, you know, watching the first couple of ads, they don't want to watch the content anymore, that once you make it that far and you are watching the content that you want to watch, about 30 minutes later, you're going to get hit with another 3 minute to, you know, a minute to 3 minute ad that's just going to, you know, take you out of the stuff, and you're going to miss all the content like I was talking about, where you don't have the playback feature to go back and look at the content. You're just looking at chat, and chat's going crazy. So it's one of those things that are very annoying. And if you are streaming, you stream about an hour, you're going to have like 5 minutes worth of, you know, ads, and no one really wants that. So it's something that's very, you know, difficult for streamers to battle with right now on Twitch. The last con that I have against Twitch is its lack of discoverability. And what I mean by that is, if you go to the site itself, and no matter what category that you're trying to look at, once you click on something, it's going to push the people that have the most numbers and most viewers on that. And rightfully so, those people do deserve that spotlight and you know, highlighting that. But if you were to look at a content creator like myself, or a streamer like myself that has, you know, maybe 5 to 10 people, maybe 15 on a good day or good night, and people are just like that, unless the content itself or whatever you're trying to watch only has like 10 people streaming that at one time, there's no way that you're going to find me unless someone raids me, or we have a bunch of other people kind of doing like channel reviews or something like that. So there's just literally no way for someone that's on the bottom to get up there without, you know, having some lucky thing happen. Just like the raids, which I said was a pro earlier, and definitely got me views, and you know, my number went up from there at that point. But unless you do self-promotion, there's no one that's just going to randomly click on you and see what you're doing. It's going to be very hard for that to happen. Another thing that's a big con with Twitch is the exclusivity. Once you are an affiliate, or even, you know, once you get the check mark on your name and you're on Twitch. And I'll let Devin Nash, I'll put a video up here of him talking about that just a little bit, with the exclusivity, where you can't stream to any other platform unless it's like TikTok and probably now Kick. And I'll talk about Kick here in a little bit, but there's things that you just can't do. You can't multi-stream if you really wanted to. You have to wait 24 hours to put that content out there to other platforms or something like that. So that exclusivity that a lot of people don't really remember or even think about, that's locked in with Twitch once you sign that contract. So that's really bad, but I'll let Devin kind of take it here.
Oh my God. So the baseline exclusive thing is interesting because I have long touted the benefits of multi-streaming, and I feel like there is no reason why broadcasters shouldn't multi-stream in this day and age. There have been I've just done so many videos about this, and I'm just not going to like divert into the subject, but suffice to say, like, we have literal just stat proof after proof after proof that broadcasters will increase their viewership by multi-streaming. There's literally no reason to stream on one platform anymore. You should use a service like Restream.io, which I'm not affiliated with at all. I think it's the best one, Restream.io, where you can easily split your feed into a Twitch stream, into a YouTube stream, into a TikTok live stream, and now you have permission from Twitch to stream on TikTok live and platforms like Kick. You just can't stream on YouTube at the same time, and I think Facebook. So if you should take advantage of that, right? And even if you didn't have permission, if you're an affiliate on Twitch with 5 viewers, do you really think they're gonna like come at you for like streaming on YouTube at the same time? Like, if there's a human that's gonna come get you for that? No chance, right? Like, there's not even humans that talk to the largest partners anymore. So multi-streaming is great, and I don't see a reason why Kick shouldn't be a part of other people's portfolios, as every other platform is, unless they show in the future that they can't do these things and they are willfully harming people, which doesn't seem to be the case.
So a lot of people have been talking about, you know, streaming to kick.com and, you know, looking at it and trying to see if that's a viable option for them as a streamer and a creator. And I don't really have an opinion on it right now. It's a little weird, a little up in the air for me. And I'll let Devin Nash kind of explain it, but they do have a 95 to 5% split rate, and that's awesome. I don't think that's, you know, that's pretty much unheard of in any other category of people getting paid. So I'll let Devin take it away, but it's definitely something to look into if you're a streamer or creator. So just, you know, keep your eye on it. That's what I'll say. You know, research it and keep your eye on it, and maybe even stream to it sometimes and see what happens.
Of a PlayStation or Xbox. They do not make money off of selling an Xbox. Now, why is that? Well, because they're going to convert you on a Xbox Live membership. They're going to convert you on future game sales, on Xbox Pass, all the stuff they have once you are a member of Xbox. Once they know they get you, the cost per acquisition of the customer is paid back in the money that they make from you later. Now, the Costco chicken and the hot dog follows that philosophy. You come in for a $1.50 hot dog, you're probably going to buy something else from Costco. You're going to make some money. You say, hey, you know what I also need? 30 pounds of ramen. I'm going to order, boom, right? Bam, out of there. Okay, now you've made Costco some money. So that's the idea behind a loss leader. So what Kick.com is doing here from a business perspective is they're saying, hey, you get 95% of the sub split, and I believe them. I think that they're really going to do that, right? Why do I think they can do that? Because they are going to drive people to use to go to gambling websites like Stake.com, and they're going to say, hey, you can gamble here, and then they're going to make thousands of dollars off those customers. So if they successfully convert you to being a subscriber on Kick, and you're predominantly watching like gambling culture and that kind of stream, then great. Like they're going to be able to kind of successfully 95.5 that, and I believe that's how they're justifying that business model. It's just an accountant in a back room that's like, okay, our cost per acquisition of customer is going to go way up because every time somebody subs, it's going to cost X, but like $5 or $4.95 or whatever, you know, yeah, $4.95. It's going to cost you $4.95 every time out, but we're going to make that back because we make thousands of dollars on the back end from those customers eventually converting to gambling websites. So that's the justification for that business model. So far, makes sense to me. Cool. Let's keep going. Just want to make.
So that's my opinion on all the 3 platforms that I've pretty much used in the last 3 years. Give me your opinions, you know, in the comments below, and you know, let's talk about it. If you've made it this far, thank you guys so much for watching. Truly grateful. If you like it, subscribe. You know, it's great. So I'll catch you guys later, and for my future, I'm going to probably be using YouTube a lot more, and still doing Twitch since I'm still affiliated with them, and I do have, you know, people that are subscribed there, but I do making a plan to try to further my YouTube career here. So thank you guys so much. I'll catch you later, and peace.
Right here.
Reloading. That's done.